Hello, everyone. This is Yoko. In this channel, I'll be sharing information in English that may not be reaching other countries due to events happening in China, based on the information I've gathered from various media sources. I would appreciate your comments on the content of the video since I gather information from multiple sources. As English is not my native language, I use an AI speaker to read in English. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel and showing your support. Now, let's delve into the wild world of China. This time, I'd like to talk about Hong Kong. Goldman Sachs has put its office building in Hong Kong up for sale, but there were few takers, and they had to lower the hope for selling price by more than 30%. Hong Kong, due to its limited space, has a demand-supply imbalance, resulting in high real estate prices. Those who have been to hotels in Hong Kong may have experienced the feeling of paying a high price for limited space. Despite the economic downturn in mainland China, there was a view that Hong Kong's real estate would remain unaffected. However, the current situation in Hong Kong has changed significantly compared to before, as I mentioned earlier. Office vacancy rates, especially in high-rent buildings, are increasing, similar to the situation in mainland China. There is a perception that doing business in China is risky, with instances of Japanese businessmen being arrested suddenly and facing long-term sentences. People are wondering who is more likely to be targeted and thinking about how to avoid getting caught. However, investing effort in such precautions may be futile, as the Communist Party can act unpredictably. The perception that doing business in China is dangerous is spreading globally. Even Japanese businessmen, who have been arrested suddenly and face sentences of over 10 years, are part of this trend. Those who have connections within China and possess important information are seen as potential targets. However, not everyone else is necessarily safe. The Communist Party's actions can be unpredictable. China's political risk is on the rise, and the world is becoming polarized. The risks associated with Chinese business are increasing, especially with rising political tensions. However, it remains to be seen how this will play out in the long term. The United States may increase pressure on China, but dealing with China's influence and political risks is a complex task. As for Hong Kong, it may not be exempt from these challenges. Even if there is a temporary decline, there are concerns about the long-term impact on Hong Kong's assets. Businesses may consider reducing their presence in China or even withdrawing altogether. When looking at the relationship between China and the United States from China's perspective, there are complex dynamics at play. Hong Kong is under the control of the Communist Party, but economically, it maintains a certain level of independence. The Hong Kong dollar is pegged to the US dollar, ensuring stability. However, the current situation raises challenges. When the U.S. raises interest rates, it affects the interest rates on the Hong Kong dollar. To maintain the peg, Hong Kong must offer interest rates equivalent to those of the U.S. If U.S. dollar interest rates surpass those of the Hong Kong dollar, people holding Hong Kong dollars may choose to convert them to U.S. dollars, leading to a depreciation of the Hong Kong dollar's exchange rate. From China's perspective, this indicates a lack of financial policy independence in Hong Kong. The pegging of interest rates to the U.S. dollar reflects the challenges Hong Kong faces in maintaining its unique financial policies. This implies that Hong Kong's interest rates are determined by U.S. policies. So, the question arises whether it would be a good idea to abandon the dollar peg. However, if such a step is taken, there is a possibility of a sharp decline in the Hong Kong dollar, leading to significant turmoil in Hong Kong's financial business. It would render doing business in Hong Kong almost meaningless. The dollar peg essentially means that transactions in Hong Kong are conducted in U.S. dollars. This is a challenging situation for China, as the Communist Party wishes to somehow address the issue of the dollar dominance. Despite efforts, maintaining the dollar peg remains challenging, indicating that the dominance of the dollar is still very strong in Hong Kong. To abandon the peg, more preparation is needed. Until countries around the world reach a point where they do not see much difference between the dollar and the yuan, abandoning the dollar peg would result in the collapse of the Hong Kong economy. Currently, Hong Kong's interest rates are rising significantly, unrelated to the actual situation in Hong Kong. The economic impact of raising interest rates is akin to applying brakes to the economy. While the U.S. maintains high interest rates, it claims that the overall economy is doing well. However, there are skeptical aspects, such as small and medium-sized enterprises, where income and expenses do not vary much, and many Americans with little savings. Despite these concerns, the U.S. asserts that its economy is relatively good. If Hong Kong's interest rates become equivalent to those in the U.S., China, in contrast to the U.S., is in a situation where it is easing its economic policies due to economic difficulties. Hong Kong's economy serves as a window for China's foreign interactions, but ultimately, it is influenced by the Chinese economy. Even if Hong Kong is economically sound, maintaining the dollar peg poses a significant burden on its economy. For Hong Kong's businesses, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, the current situation makes borrowing money challenging due to high interest rates. This could lead to significant damage to the Hong Kong economy. The real estate industry, in particular, is susceptible to the impact of interest rates, as high-priced transactions often rely on borrowing. If interest rates rise, transaction volumes decrease, making it difficult to carry out new construction projects or major renovations. In summary, Hong Kong's real estate, once perceived as expensive, may face the possibility of a downturn influenced by the rise in U.S. interest rates. Ultimately, the impact of such situations is unwanted by many countries, and it could be one of the reasons why various nations want to dismantle the dominance of the dollar. This concludes the discussion for this time, and I look forward to meeting you in the next video.